To Salem, I find that this area is one of the most changed because in my day, Essex Street was our main east-west street here in the city. So there was constant traffic up and down here. And this area is where some of the grandest houses in the city stood at that time. Right here behind us in this empty space, this was the home of Mr. Billy Gray, William Gray, who was by 1812, one of our most successful merchants after the death of Mr. Elias Haskett Darby in 1799. And Mr. Gray actually got himself involved in politics here. And one of the things you must understand, I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but we have a great deal of division between the Federalists who believe that there's a natural hierarchy, that those who are of the right stature and of the right breeding will rise to the top. They will become the wealthiest people in America, and they are the ones who really should rule, as opposed to the Democratic Republicans, who believe that everyone should vote. Can you imagine sailors voting? And so they believe that any man should be able to vote once he reaches the age of 21. They believe that we should not be doing a great deal of trade because we should be encouraging home manufacture. And of course, up here in New England, we Federalists are very much adhere to belief in international trade, as Mr. Alexander Hamilton said very often in his economic treatises. So Mr. Gray actually started out as a Federalist, but didn't agree with many of the more, let us say, extreme Federalists here in Salem that we should completely block our Democratic Republican merchants from doing business in the city. Well, this got him into a great deal of difficulty with the other Federalists. And finally, around about 1810, he was in fact forced out of the city. His entire family was ostracized and they were never invited to any parties, and he finally moved to Boston and took almost a third of our shipping with him. It's one of the reasons that our shipping declined so very much after the close of the War of 1812, is because merchants like Mr. Gray had left the city to move to Boston, where they felt they were going to be less persecuted by other members of society here.